Alright, so we're extending our understanding of area to the area of circles and sectors. The formula that we use for the area of a circle is area is equal to pi times the radius squared. Okay, so let's do a few examples now. So if you want to find the area of this first circle, the thing that we need to know is the radius, and it is given to us right there. So we go area equals pi r squared, fill in what we know, pi times 4 squared, which is 16 pi if we wanted it in exact value or exact form, that's it. Or if we want it to 2 decimal places, we're going 50.26 centimeters squared. 2 decimal places. Alright, have a go at this next one here. Just take note that the diameter is 6 meters and that we need the radius. So pause, just write down what you would do. Alrighty, here's our working for this one. So area is the radius squared. The radius is half of the diameter, so it is 3 squared. In exact form, we have 9 pi, and in the calculator, we have 28.27 meters squared. Alright, let's get on to some more complicated examples. So quite often we don't have a full circle, we have a part of a circle like this, like we talked about slices of pi, and not pi pi, pie pi, like these ones here. So when we do that, we need to think about what fraction of the full circle do we have, and quite often we'll be told the angle that we have here. In fact, we can't do it if we're not told the angle. In this second one, we're not told the angle, but it looks like a semicircle. We're going to treat it as a semicircle. In these other two, we are given the angle. So basically, we're going to say what fraction of the circle do we have? Well, the whole circle would have 360 degrees. Okay, so if we had the whole thing, we'd have 360 out of 360, which would be 1. In this case, we don't have that. We only have 70 out of 360. So that's the fraction of the circle that we have. So our area is going to be equal to this fraction of whatever the area of the big circle would be. So that's pi r squared, so 70. And you can simplify this fraction down, so that simplifies down to 7 over 36. You don't need to put the degree signs in for this part. Pi, and the radius is 8 squared. You can put that straight in your calculator from here, and you get 39.10 millimeters squared. We're in millimeters. This one, easier in some ways because we know it's half. So area is half of our circle. More complicated, we have to remember that this is the diameter, not the radius. And then we just put that in our calculator and remember our units. The last one of these sectors, it's a very thin sector, but we have 20 degrees out of a possible 360 for our full circle. And it's the same process all over again. Pi times the radius squared, put that straight in your calculator, 34.21 centimeters squared. Alright, this one is our last one, and this is a kind of composite shape where we actually have a cutout. Okay, so quite often you'll see composite shapes where it's like I've got a square and then I also have a triangle. So what's the area? So you add up your areas, add up area 1 and area 2 to get your total area. In this one, we have a rectangle but with a semicircle cut out of it. Can you see that here? So no, it does work. Okay, so the first thing we're going to notice is our units. All right, if you want to pause and have a go at this, go ahead. Notice the units. We need to have them in the same. So it's not specifying if we want the answer to be in centimeters squared or meters squared. I'm going to go with meters, because our centimeters squared answer would be very large. All right, so we're going to say that this, remember you got to be clear when you're doing your working through, that area is going to be made up of our area of our rectangle minus the area of our semicircle. Okay, so you make a plan at the start for what you're going to do, and then you can just go ahead and find out those two areas that we need to do. So the area of the rectangle, you can find it separately or you can put it up here in one line of working. I'm actually going to go with the one line of working. So area of our rectangle is length times width, so that's 12 by 10 meters. And then we're going to subtract off the area of the semicircle, which is going to be a half, because it's a semicircle, times pi times the radius, which is 6 squared. And once you've got this and you've got this, that's enough working, and you can put that straight in your calculator and it will give you your answer. And we had it in meters squared. And that's it. So just to recap, we looked at our area of a circle formula. We did examples with the radius and diameter given. We did sectors, where the angles are told to us and with different units, and where you can just tell that it's a semicircle. And then we did a more complex example, and we talked about the setting out that you need to do for that.